want Kanye East to be president.
Yeah, Kanye East. Well, that would certainly be better than Kanye West. Okay. Anybody who values the values of the Cartesians has a problem. Okay. So last night's homework. Let's talk very, very quickly. Excuse me. Let's talk very quickly about last night's homework. You said number 7?
7? Yeah, number 7.
Okay.
It says 7 here, like on my answer
Yeah, it should be 7, 11, 15.
Last night's homework
Okay.
is on.
Any other questions? All right, so let's go through the do it. And am I screen recording? Yes, I am recording. Okay, very good. Now,
How you choose?
you'll notice that the do it takes the lessons of the last couple of days and it tries to reinforce them. This is where it is so critically important that everybody pays attention and is on top of things. Because here's the deal. Yesterday, if you didn't get all the do it questions right, it's fine. It's really not a big deal because you got another crack at them today. All right? Learning takes repetition. And we want to give you multiple opportunities to understand things. This first one, there are 2 main possible answers here. One of the main possible answers is 6. The other main possible answer is 2. How many people got 6? How many people got 2? The 6s are right. Okay. When you have addition and subtraction, you just go, head in the game, guys. You just go left to right. So just read it. Addition and subtraction have the same priority. What's 7 minus 3?
4.
4. And then what's 4 plus 2? 6. Very good. Now I take a look here. I have multiplication, addition, and exponent. Which one of those gets done first?
Exponent.
Exponent. So 3 to the third is 9, right? 3 to the third is 9, right?
Yeah, but you have to, you forgot.
Who said no? What is 3 to the third?
3rd, hold on, 18.
Nope.
Oh, I need
27. Very good.
I'm
3 to the third, guys, means 3 times 3 times 3. What's 3 times 3? Times 3. 27. So I'm going to get 5 times 4 plus 27. What do I do next?
cry because I got it wrong.
You're going to multiply, right? So what's 5 times 4? 20 plus 27. And what's 20 plus 27? 47. Nicely done. Okay. Now, guys, x plus 2b over 4c. X is 12, b is 4, so it's 12 plus 2 times 4 over 4 times 2. In the top, I have to do the multiplication first. What's 2 times 4?
8.
8. And then what's 12 plus 8? 20. And then 4 times 2 is 8. And 20 over 8 is 2.5 or 2.5 or any of those. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions? Okay. Next, find each sum model within algebra tiles, or you could use plus and minus signs. So if I went here, I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minuses, 2 pluses. What happens every time a plus and a minus come together?
They cancel each other
They
out.
cancel each other out. So, die, and I'm left with 3 negatives. So this is negative 3. Next one, negative 3 plus negative 7. Now, let me ask you before we go for the answer here, what are 3 New York Met wins and 7 New York Met wins? Everybody?
10 New York Met wins.
10 New York Met wins. Very good. What are 3 Yoenis Cespedes home runs and 7 Yoenis Cespedes home runs?
10 UNSS Spanish home runs.
That's exactly right. So, if I have 3 little negatives, this always reminds me of 1 little Indian, 2 little Indian. Your parents do that with your toes when you, or this little piggy went to market. Your parents ever do that with you? Yeah. So, kind of reminds me of that. 4, 5, 6, 7. If I have 3 little negatives and 7 more little negatives, what do I have altogether?
10 negatives.
10 negatives. Very good. And last but not least, what is negative 2 and negative 1? Negative 3. Sweet. Okay, any question about that? All right. So this is a really good idea of what's going on from there. Now, Rach, do you remember our team saying from softball last year?
What?
Do you remember our team saying from softball last year?
Yes.
What is it?
No one's perfect.
Yeah, but we phrase it a little bit differently. Hello,
Your name.
my name is, and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Listen, hey, shh, Hey, head in the game. Listen, boys, girls. It's really important that you understand that the minute you walk through the door, things change a little bit. When you're in the cafeteria, you should be chilling, you should be relaxing, you should be thinking out of your system to an extent, and just allowing yourself to recharge. Then when you come in the room, we have a job to do. And the job that we have to do is learn whatever we're going to learn on a particular day. Yesterday it was learning about adding integers. The day before was the order of operations. Now the first thing is this. We will never, and I mean never, hit a topic on one day and not come back to it. That will never happen all year long because that's a horrible way to attempt to learn. We will hit a topic and come back to it. You notice that these questions have been here now for 3 days in a row.
Yes.
And it'll build on that sort of nature. These were yesterday, so they're first making their appearances on. One of these will slip off. We'll get more of these on, plus today's lesson. I don't expect people to be perfect on the do it. But you know what I do expect? I expect that if you got a question wrong, that you learn what you did wrong, that you identify what the problem is. And then the next time you come in, you try harder to get that question right. Now, let's say that you come in on, let's say that you tried letter number 2 here, and you got number 2 wrong today. And you also got number 2 wrong yesterday at the do it. That's not good. So you are in control of your own education. I have extra help on Wednesday morning. So what I would suggest that you do is you come in on Wednesday morning and we go over questions like number 2. And we get it so now I can understand better. Now, right now in this class there's 20 some odd kids and there's me. And it's very difficult for me to know exactly what's going on in your head at any particular point in time. I can get an idea and I can guess, but it's hard to know exactly. But if you come into extra help, there's going to be, when there's a test, it gets packed. But right now, it's not going to be packed. You might get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. So you could come up and say, hey, this is what I thought the answer was. I got it wrong. I don't understand. Where am I going wrong? And I can help you with it, and we can nip it in the bud and get it down pat now. Okay? So that's just a way to be a really good student and to be the best you can. Do I expect perfection? Never. Never. I'm not a perfect teacher, you're not a perfect student. What I do want is that if you have a problem, if you mess up, that you try to get better. Okay, now I am going to rock your world. We are going to change
Michael Jackson.
the way we look at things, okay? I'm going to say some things that are a little revolutionary,
I remember this.
but I'm right. And I don't think you thought about it this way ever before. And I think when you see it, you'll start thinking about it this way. What does number 1 say?
5 minus 7.
No, it doesn't.
7 minus 5.
No, it doesn't.
Positive 5 minus.
If you want to say that it says 5 minus 7,
No, 1.
it is true, kind of, that it says 5 minus 7. But let me ask you a question. In math, if I was going to give you a 20-question test, would you rather all 20 questions be multiplication or all 20 questions be division? Multiplication. We all on the same page there? Right? Would you rather all 20 be addition or all 20 be subtraction? Addition, definitely, okay? The fact is that inverse operations, and we talked about that yesterday, inverse operations, going backwards, are always so much harder. Now, can I see by show of hands how many people thought that at the end of class yesterday, when we added integers, added sign numbers like -2 plus -3, or 5 plus -7, how many people feel like they're pretty good at that? Okay, that's the whole class. Good, I'm glad. What if I was to tell you that I have magic powers? You have them too.
I would not believe you.
Oh, I do. I have mathematical magic powers. I do, and you have them too. That's what's really, really cool. The truth is, now this is going to sound really weird. In reality, there's no such thing as subtraction. Now, you guys are probably saying, yeah, well, you could say that, Mr. Lindquist, but when I was in elementary school, I got all of these worksheets. All of these worksheets had me subtracting. And I went home at night, and I did a lot of subtraction. And I'm here to tell you, that that was one way to look at things. And it's not that it got you the wrong answers, because if you learn that way, it did get you the right answers. However, we all just agreed a second ago that subtraction was more difficult than addition. So if I can take subtraction and I could turn it into addition. And I could teach you how to do that. Doesn't that mean that since you already know addition from yesterday, and I could turn this into addition, that you already know subtraction also? Right? If I can make subtraction into addition, and you already know how to do addition, then don't you automatically have to know how to do subtraction? Okay, here's how we do it. I never look at this as 5 minus 7. If you're not looking now, you're gonna harm yourself. You really need to be focused on this. This is the easiest thing in the world if you're focused. If you're not, you're gonna get really confused really fast. Now, everything is addition. If you went to a mathematical dictionary and you opened it up, and in the dictionary you looked up the definition of subtraction, it would say add the inverse. Once again, the definition of subtraction is to add. So I'm going to show you how we can change subtraction into addition, and it's all in how you look at things. You know how sometimes people look at things as, like if you were on my wrestling team, and I said to you, listen, I got one rule. The one rule is I never want you to horse around when I'm not in the room. Some people might say, oh, he's got this really mean rule about how we can never horse around if he's not in the room. But a very wise person would say, what he's also saying is, we can do whatever we want as long as he is in the room. Okay? There's two ways to look at things. Same thing here. Let me ask you a question. What kind of 5 is this?
Positive 5.
Positive. What kind of 7 is this? Negative. We always peek in front, just like we talked about with Mr. and Mrs. Lindquist. And the way you tell the difference, which is a boy and which is a girl, Mr. is the boy. We see Lindquist, we look in front. Mr. boy, Mrs. girl. Likewise, with numbers, we look in front. This is a positive 5, and this is a negative 7. Well, just do the math. What's positive 5 plus negative 7?
-2.
Negative 2. Done. That's
Holy
it.
Jesus.
That's all it is.
Who's just a play Billy, please?
That's all. In other words, this is yesterday's lesson. It is, girls, boys, this is yesterday's lesson. It's the same exact thing. We don't have to change anything. And since you just told me a minute ago, every kid in the class raised their hand and said, I know yesterday's lesson. So if you could just learn to think about it this way, every kid will know today's lesson. Okay, what kind of 3 is this, guys? Negative.
3.
What kind of 1 is this?
-1.
Negative. What are 3 negatives and 1 more negative?
4 negatives.
Done. Try the next 2. Listen, do you guys feel how some of your attention is distracting? How it's like leaving you and you're not as focused as you can be? Because that's a fact. And when you're not as focused as you can be, you make it harder on yourself. We're trying to make it easier on yourself. Question? Here's the deal with borrowing pens and pencils. The answer is, God bless, I will never lend you a pen or pencil because I think it's your responsibility to bring it, and I'm a tough love kind of guy. However, I always pick up pens and pencils I find on the floor, and I put them in this cup. So any day that you see a pen or, you need a pen or pencil, this applies to everybody. Any day that you need a pen or a pencil, you can come over to this cup. You don't even need to ask. You can take it. I hope you remember to put it back, but usually you don't, and I don't get upset with you if you do. Now, what do you do if there's nothing in that cup? See over there? You're going to buy a pencil. 25 cents, 5 for $1. Okay?
He's
Put-
trying to make money off of.
Put the money, oh, wait, no, you're gonna like this. Hold it. Put the money in the Hershey's thing, okay? The money, at the end of the year, or sometimes in the middle, goes to a needy family or something like that. I've given the money to breast cancer research.
I'm needy.
There was a family whose house burned down. I gave the money to them. One year, a family had a tragedy strike at home, and I gave them, it was like $200 and something in there, okay? So, the way I look at it is, I buy all the pens and pencils out of my own pocket. I pay for those. I put them in the thing. You, in turn, are going to buy them from me, and you're going to put the money in the Hershey's thing, and then it's going to go to somebody who needs it. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, but first option is this. So there's plenty here. So come on up, grab whatever one you like, and then do what you're going to do. Okay? Oh, you got one already? All right. So, listen. Listen. What happens with the talking is this. Is talking a bad thing?
No.
No, absolutely not. What can be bad about talking, okay? The other thing I want to say is this. What's your name, buddy? Derek, right? Yeah, all right. Derek, I'm not going to compare you to a dog, but I'm going to compare something you do to something a dog does. I do a lot of dog training, a lot of very advanced dog training. And I was taught early on when I trained a dog that you have to keep its attention on you. You have to keep its head looking at you because its nose, a nose is the enemy of a dog. The dog walks down the street and they're like, how many people know that dogs smell much better than we do? And then they smell something that gets their attention and they're like, The minute that smell gets their attention, do they start paying attention to you anymore? No. So now they don't do what they're told, and you can have a problem. Derek, your head's on a swivel. You're always looking around like, hey, what's going on over there? Oh, I'm going to look over here. And eventually something gets your attention. You're like, hey. And when your attention is there, it's not there. You with me on that? All right, now, here's the thing. Is Derek a bad kid? Absolutely not. He's a great kid. But you got to learn that about yourself. You got to learn how not to do it. Just like me. I had to learn there's a limit to the chocolate chip cookies. All right? Otherwise, muy grande. Now, here, I got 8 negatives. I got 2 more negatives. What do I have? 10 what?
Negatives. Come on, people.
So, negativo 10. Next. Now, look. Your whole life, you've been doing certain ones of these, and you don't need to change when you kind of understand. What's 2 minus 1?
1,
1. Good. All right, what's 6 minus 3?
3.
3. 7 minus 9. That would be a harder one. What kind of 7 is that?
Positive.
Positive. What kind of 9 is that?
Negative.
What's positive 7, negative 9?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Good. The 9 list would be longer, so it has to be negative. And then what's 4 negatives and 3 negatives?
Negative 7.
Negative 7. Okay. So now let's go to the last sort of thing that we have to learn today. We're going to skip forward on this chart just a little bit.
Wait to read it.
Okay. What if you should encounter 2 negatives in a row? If you should encounter 2 negatives in a row, see this is a negative 2, and then it says minus a negative 5. I want you to realize that we said before that addition is to add the opposite, or to add the inverse. Or subtraction, I'm sorry, is to add the inverse. So here's subtraction and inverse. So what's going to happen is if I see 2 negatives in a row, I have to change the subtraction to addition, and I have to add the inverse. The inverse of negative is positive. So if I see 2 in a row, I just make it add. What's negative 2 and positive 5?
Negative 7.
No
Oh,
way.
wait.
Negative 2, positive 5.
Positive 3.
Positive 3 is right. See the 2 in a row here? I taught bilingual math up at the high school a year or 2 ago, 2 or 3 ago, and we would say circle agregar. What does agregar mean in Spanish?
No idea.
Agregar, you should know.
Agregar.
Agregar. What does it mean?
To add.
To add, good. And I don't know the Spanish word for circle. What's circle in Spanish?
I'm sorry, I don't speak that much.
You don't speak that much Spanish? Girls, how do I say circle in Spanish? Círculo? Okay, ready?
Hey, Mom.
Hey!
You won't miss the cookies.
Silencio. Círculo agregar. Watch. Círculo agregar. What's negative 4 and positive 4? Negative 4, positive 4, 0. Try that one.
What you said?
Try. Hey, guys, we're talking too much.
That was not believable.
Shh. Think inside. Don't think outside. Circle, add. Círculo agregar. Okay. So if I just come over to my paper and all I got to do is circle them and add. What's 7 plus 2? 9. Done. Very easy, very stress-free. Try it on this one. Okay, ready? I circle, I add. What's 3 negatives and 8 positives?
11.
No.
Negative.
3 negatives, right. 8 positives. Positive 5. Okay? All right, so I just want to pause for a moment, and I want to review some things we've learned so far. On your paper, write down the order of operations. It's on your paper right there. The order of operations is?
PEMDAS.
That's right, we'll write them out. What does P stand for? What does E stand for? So on and so forth. You guys talk like a bunch of old ladies. Come on, let's go, do it quietly.
Doesn't come, so.
Shh. All right. What's first in the order of operations?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. Second,
Exponents.
exponents. Third.
Multiplication.
And what do you have to remember about multiply and divide?
It's left to right.
All right, always do what comes first, left to right. And what about the last one? Adding and subtract. Good. What does the word evaluate mean? Ready? Watch me. Don't look down, look up. Look up. It means tell me the value. It means figure out what the value is. So I might say evaluate 7 minus -2. Okay? How do you evaluate 10 to the 4th? Oh, I did an extra one. Now, if you don't realize it with tens, this just tells you how many zeros you need. 4 zeros. 10,000. Okay. Next, how do you add if the signs are the same? Add them and
Keep the sign.
keep that sign. Good. Like 3 negatives and 2 negatives would be 5 negatives. What do you do if the signs are different?
Change the sign. Add them and change the sign.
Look,
Change the sign to the biggest number.
subtract them because you're taking them away, and then keep the sign in the bigger number.
Whatever.
Okay? I like how you're very non-stressed right now. Very low-key. This is a good thing. Okay. Is there really such a thing as subtraction?
No.
No, it's really just addition. Okay, just the way you look at it. All right, try these next questions here, numbers 1 through 4. Question?
What do you make the sign if there's a add and then there's a?
If there's an add, we never change anything. Okay? Only when you see the 2 minuses in a row. All right. Another 10 seconds or so. Ready? I look at the first one. I see the 2. You know what this is a lot like? Anybody here ever watch football on TV?
Yes.
See the quarterback come up behind the center?
Yes.
So you can get in there and go, 10, 21! 10, 10, 21, blue, 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 green, blue, green, blue, blue, green. And he's doing that, and what he's doing is he's recognizing the defense in front of him. And then when he sees the right defense, he changes the play. And he changes the play so it's something that can work against that defense. Well, when you look here, you got to be like, yo, blue, 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 look, blue.
It's red. That's red.
There you go. Red, red. Circular aggregar. -3, 3 negatives, 8 positives. What do I get? 5 positives. Very good. Now, this time it's already here as a positive. It's -11. All right, folks. Hasta la vista. Bye. Con Dios. Toodaloo. Ta-ta. Are they always on the sheet from there forward?
Please send the representative to the main office for a handout. Thank you.
Oh wait, did you print the paper?
Oh, no, I did not print the paper.
Is there homework?